Viewer discretion is advised.
I have something to say.
No, God! No, God, please! No! No! No!
Shut the hell up.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of 3 Geeks Flix. I am the tech flying solo again. I did a rant yesterday. I have somewhat of a rant today, but it's more of a question to you all of how you feel about this. I talked a little bit about Justice League and, of course, the reshoots, and how DC, of course, is trying to tie in the universe much like Marvel did with all its solo films and its projected films to come and everything. So, really, my whole question on the fact is, do we ever think that DC will live up to what Marvel has done? Did they start too little too late? Was there too much of a narrow gap between the Christopher Nolan Batman films and the subsequent films following? You know, there's a lot of questions to that. There's a lot to think about and a lot to go off and really ponder, because Marvel, of course, is the more family-friendly kind of film. It's the more epic, larger scale, doesn't really look at the small picture. To whereas DC, you've got fallout from anything these heroes have done. There is some more grounded reality and real-world reaction than there was in Marvel. There is now that you're seeing in these following things, especially Civil War. You're starting to see a lot of the fallout from what has happened. But here is my rant. Why does it need to live up to Marvel? These are two very different universes, folks, okay? And I understand that there's always going to be a litmus test. There's always going to be something that's held to a standard of that came before, or came around, or that's going on during it. And there's always going to be those versus matches, especially with DC and Marvel. It is what it is. It's always been that way. You're either the DC guy or the Marvel guy, or the DC girl or the Marvel girl. You know, geeks around have had this argument for years, and it will never be settled. We'll always see one way or the other, quite frankly. You'll either be the Marvel fanboy or you'll be the DC fanboy or fangirl at that, not to exclude any sex or anything like that out of this. But in all honesty, when it comes down to it, it's a matter of damn opinion, okay? Just like this show with me. It's my opinion. Do I think it's going to live up to what Marvel has done? I don't think it's going to be what Marvel has done. I think they're going to do their own thing. And as soon as most of us, especially critics, can sit there and take and not look at Marvel because it's a completely separate universe and story of characters, and look at DC for what it is and what it's worth, we'll be better for it. Now, does DC have some work to do to make everybody feel more at ease given their past sins? Yes, of course they do. But then again, you know, they did not have a lot of the people that coveted it as much as Marvel until they got a lot of fan backlash, it seems, here lately, in which it's growing pains. They're getting on a larger scale. They're getting on a bigger perspective. It's going to take them a little time to figure out how to get there. And I'm rambling, and that's fine, and hopefully you're still watching for whatever, because I'm quite frankly trying to make this point, and I said it earlier, and I'm going to say it again. They're two separate universes. They're two separate cinematic universes, separate sequences of scenarios going on that help build the story of these characters. And so we can't really hold one to the other, and we need to stop it. So, in essence, stop it, sit back and enjoy, pray that things get done right, and enjoy them both for what they're worth. And don't hold one to the other, because they're going to fade and fail in comparison and pale in other ways compared to the other. It's just what it is. It's just how it is. That's just my rant. That's just my idea. And then the question, of course, like I posed before, what do you think? Do you think we need to sit there and compare these two to one another? Or do we need to look at them separately and see them as what they are, their own films, their own stories, their own set of scenarios and heroes? Or am I just old and losing it again? So, for what it's worth, check us out on Facebook, 3 Geeks Flix. Give us a like, comment, holler, troll us. You don't do Facebook? We've, of course, got Twitter. It's at the number 3 Geeks Flix. Flix is, of course, spelled F-L-I-X. Give us a follow there. Give us a holler there. Troll there. Get involved. Get on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Leave us some comments. Give us a like. Get involved. Please definitely comment on this episode. I want to hear from every single one of y'all, even if you've got a question for us. As far as the question that I just posed goes, we'd love to answer it. The muse, of course, is still in Miami Beach. Hope everybody enjoyed my artistic whimslings, whatever you want to call it, from yesterday's episode. It was a quick little throw up, but threw it up there nonetheless, and the muse gave me a great big middle finger for it, so it's the nicest thing that was done all day to me. Other than that, appreciate y'all sticking around, and stay tuned to the glow of those monitors, because we're going to catch you next time. Good night.